श्री नाम संकीर्तन की, प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
The original Ghoshti Anandi saint, because all of you know what is Ghoshti Anandi saint, no? You remember last week's paragraph, preaching is the essence, all of you read. There are two types of saints. Anyone remembers? No one remembers? Bhajan Anandi and Ghoshti Anandi. Bhajan Anandi are those saints who are very happy doing their own bhajan. Ghoshti Anandi saints are those people who want to spread the message of bhakti all over the world. So there are two types of saints. All the children, you remember which are the two types of saints we just said?
Bhajananandi and Ghoshtanandi.
Very good. Okay. So out of the Ghoshti Anandi saints, who is the topmost? Srila Rupa Goswami. For us, Srila Rupa Goswami is the topmost. Srila Rupa Goswami came as an associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Krishna himself came in the mood of Radharani, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll talk about that later. But in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime was Radharani brought all her associates. Who is the closest associate to Radharani? Which is the closest Manjari to Radharani? Rupa Manjari. And that Rupa Manjari in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime from the spiritual world, she came as he, Rupa Goswami. Okay, that is Rupa Goswami. So this is written by one of the closest associates of Srimati Radharani. Okay, so that is why this bhajan is very, very famous. So it is called as what? Radhikastava. This bhajan is called Radhikastava. Okay, and this is from a book called Stava Mala. Alright, so let's sing this bhajan today. This is sung in many ISKCON temples on a daily basis. In our temple we don't do that, but in many temples we sing. Yes, I remember in Montreal temple when we had visited. In Montreal temple I know that's one temple definitely they sing it every day. Okay, so like that in Canada. Okay, ready? Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite, Gokul Taruni Mandala Mahite, because मैं कुछ गा रहा था. I will align to your tune. Okay, let's do yours. आप कीजिए. I will try and align with that. Karuni Mandala Mahite, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite, Damodara Veshe Hari Niskuta Vinesh Radhati Vardhana Veshe Hari Vineshe Damodarati Vardhana Veshe Hari Vineshe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite, Vrishabhan Navashash Lal वृषभानुदाधि नवशशिलेखे ललिता सखी गुणरमिता राधे जय जय माधव करुणां कुरु सनक सनातन वर्णित चरिते कुरु मयि करुणा भरिते सनक सनातन वर्णित चरिते जय माधव जय जय माधव गोकुल तारुणी मंडल महित गोकुलतारुणी मंडल महिते राधे जय जय माधव राधे जय जय माधव Thank you, Madhavi. I know it was a challenging assignment in short time. So, this is the translation. It's a very beautiful translation. Okay. So, what does Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite? What is meant by that? Okay, children can read. Who wants to read the first line of the translation, the refrain? Oh Radha. Who wants to read? Oh Radha.
O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you who are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokula, all glories to you.
All glories to you.
All glories to you. All glories to you.
Okay. Who wants to read the first? Number 1.
You who dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment for you, O Queen of Vrindavan, which is the pleasure grove of Lord Hari.
Very good.
O new moon that has arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu, O friend of Lalita, O you who make Vishaka loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna. O you who are filled with compassion, O you that divine characters are described by the great sages Sankata and Sanatana. Radha, please be merciful to me.
Very good. Thank you very much. So this is a very short, brief, it's a very small poetry if you like, but very, very profound, coming directly from Rupa Goswami. Okay, children can go for children's class. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Sorry? Which verse? Yeah. So this is, I'll tell you, this is open Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela.
Medicines है करने ले लेंगे.
हाँ, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela. Veda base, yes.
Do you want both?
Yeah, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah.
Everything on one screen.
Adi Leela.
Adilila.
Yes. Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
1 second.
Prabhuji, do you want the shlokas also?
Yes. Chapter 4. 69. 69. No, go. No, not like that. Just go down. Yeah, go to 69.
69.
Keep going. Not. This will be difficult, no? With the purports you don't want. We just want without that.
Purports?
Take the normal
The
one.
verses.
Yeah. Only the verses.
Just the
Yeah.
words.
Chapter description. Verses 1.
Nice.
69.
69. Very good. Okay, 69. So 69 and 71 both should be on the screen like that. Okay, so 69 can be on top and 71 below it. Yeah, very nice. Very good. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. So before we begin today's class on Radhasthami, we just did one bhajan of Radharani. Okay, before some of you join. Now we will take a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita which glorifies Srimati Radharani. But before that, we will do chanting for 6 minutes. Veda base, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sorry? Adi Leela. First one, Adi Leela. Okay. Today, where is everyone? They are coming or? School holidays. Acha. Okay. Bapre. Next time we should cancel, no? In school holidays. Is it? No? Karna chahiye. Okay, अच्छा good. Bhakti continues. There is no holiday for this. ये एक चीज के लिए भक्ति में छुट्टी नहीं है कुछ. But still we will give holidays for the children's sake. Okay. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे. Okay, so we will begin our class on Srimati Radharani. Why are we doing this? Because tomorrow is Radhasthami. Okay, before I became devotee, I had no idea there was anything called as Radhasthami also. I only knew Janmashtami, right? And that too I used to call it as Gokulashtami. So Radhasthami, one will only know if one is really blessed. And we will tell you why we are very blessed to know Srimati Radharani. But before that, we will, as is the process in the temple, we chant a verse first and then we discuss the topic like that. Before the class, we will chant the verse from the scriptures. Where is Mataji? Okay. आपने राधा रानी का भजन मिस कर गए आप लोग आज. That's okay. Kaustu Prabhu, you as well. You missed Radha Rani bhajan we sang today. Okay. Okay, so this is a text from which scripture? Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we will first discuss this and then we will first recite this and then we will go into the deeper aspects of this verse. This is the verse which we are going to speak in the temple tomorrow. So I have been asked to give the Radhasthami class tomorrow. So I know that many of you cannot come to the temple. If you come, it is good. But you will hear quite a bit of what I am speaking today is what I am going to be speaking tomorrow also. Okay. So if you hear today and come tomorrow, don't sleep in the class. सुना है. So this is text number 69 from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is what? What is Chaitanya Charitamrita? Everyone knows what is Chaitanya Charitamrita? No idea what it... Okay, so first let me describe that, then only you will know what is the Mahima of Chaitanya Charitamrita first. Lord Krishna is the most beautiful personality in the entire cosmos. There is no doubt about that. He is Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan se beautiful kaun ho sakta hai? He is the source of all beauty. That is why his name is called Krishna. Krishna means what? All attractive. So there is nobody else more attractive. Whoever's heart Krishna steals, that person will have nothing to do with this samsara, material world. We will have nothing to do with docklands and tax returns. Okay. Or cloud computing. Correct. So therefore, we are cautioned always. Do not worship Krishna is what the saints are telling. Sant log kya bolte hain? Do not worship. Mat jao. Don't go to the banks of Yamuna. Don't see that black man with the flute. Because वहाँ जाके क्या हो जाओगे? दिल हार के आओगे. Okay. फिर संसार में कुछ रहेगा ही नहीं आपके लिए. You will have nothing to do with this material world, right? Hands up if you don't want to see him. You want to enjoy the material world. Nobody? No hands are going up. Okay. Hands up if you want to see him. Who doesn't want to see him, right? This should be our last lifetime in this wretched material world. Our last. Already we have thankfully finished year 12 exams and all. Engineering exams, graduation, sab ho gaya hai abhi. Don't be born again to do all these things. They are useless waste of time. Like again coming back and taking mortgage. What is the point? Again and again living this life, right? So, Lord Krishna is very attractive. Now, everyone is attracted to Lord Krishna's beauty. Correct? Except one person who doesn't understand why everybody is attracted to him. Who is that person? Krishna himself. The only thing Krishna doesn't know is what? He knows everything. He is Sarvagya. But he does not know what is in me that everybody is my devotee. Everyone is so attracted to me. And who is the person who is most attracted by Lord Krishna? Srimati Radharani. There is nobody higher than that, right? So, all the time she is serving Lord Krishna. तो भगवान सोचते हैं मेरे में क्या है भाई that she is serving me so much. And how is Radharani serving Krishna? Every time she sees Krishna and serves him, she becomes even more enthusiastic to be with him and serve him. The bliss is always increasing. And she is so happy serving the Lord. तो कृष्णा बोलता है ये क्या है? Everybody is deriving happiness out of me. I also want to derive happiness out of me. But then I can't be me. Then how will I derive happiness out of me? Correct? So I have to be somebody else who is looking at me and deriving happiness out of me. Does that make sense? But the Lord says, I want to understand who is the most attracted to me. And because the person who is most attracted to me is the most attracted to me. And if I were her, then I will know what she sees. Through her lens, I will see myself. Does it make sense? So what happens? Lord Krishna says, I am going to come down to this earth as I am Krishna, but I am going to come down as Krishna, but in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Okay, so that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself as an ordinary human being who comes in the mood of Radharani. And what is Radharani always doing? Radharani is searching for who all the time? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So what happens when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself comes, because he is in the mood of Radharani, Krishna himself is searching for himself, saying, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Correct? His whole mood is Radharani, right? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called as Channa Avatar. Channa Avatar means what? Hidden incarnation. Okay. It is said in Kali Yuga, it is said that only the wise people, very chosen few in this world, will even hear and understand about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangopangasta Parshadam Yagyair Sankirtanair Prayair Yajantihi Sumedasa. This is a verse from where? Srimad Bhagavatam, predicting the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Right? Because Bhagavatam was there after Krishna was there. After Krishna left, then Bhagavatam came. Na? But in that Bhagavatam, who is predicted? Krishna Varnam Atvisha Krishnam. It is said that Lord Krishna will come, but he will not come in his complexion. Right? Krishna Varnam Tvisa Akrishnam. उनका जो त्वचा है, जो उनका complexion है, it will be not Krishnam, it will be Akrishnam. Krishna is what? Black. This personality will be golden in color, molten gold. And what will he do? Sango Pangasta Parshadam. He will bring all his ministers, cabinet ministers, everyone, associates from the spiritual world. And do what here? Start the Sankirtan Yagya. Yagyair Sankirtanair Prayair. And who will understand that this is Krishna himself, who is coming as a common man? Yajantihi Sumedasa. Alpa Medasa means what? Bevakuf. Alpa Medasa. Alpa means kam buddhi. Sumedasa means the most intelligent, spiritually realized person will recognize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna. Very few people in Kali Yuga will recognize Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and will get a chance to even hear about him. Okay, we are that fortunate few. The pastimes which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did in this world is recorded in a book called as Chaitanya Charitamrit. It is the life story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself when he came here. Krishna himself when he is coming here, he is in the mood of Srimati Radharani, right? So therefore, because he is in the mood of Radharani, he is glorifying Krishna. Correct? Right? But his associates, they are glorifying Radharani. Right? So in Chaitanya Charitamrit, you will find Krishna glorifying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, glorifying Krishna, and his associates glorifying Radharani. So you can find all these things, right? So one such verse here which glorifies, Gaya. Okay, I'm praying. Gaya. Okay. So one such verse which glorifies
select
आ गया. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Sorry for the trouble. So there are actually not one, there are few verses like that, but we are going to select the choicest of verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which glorifies Radharani. So we will repeat this verse, all of us. Okay, there is a particular meter in which we recite this. So I will tell you the meter, then Mataji you can play. First I'll tell you the meter, then you can play, and then everyone can repeat. I'll say once, all of you repeat once, okay? And then we can sing like that, okay? Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani. Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani. Mahabhava Thakur Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि महाभाव स्वरूप श्री राधा ठाकुरानी सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि Anyone of you want to recite? महाभाव स्वरूप श्री राधा ठाकुरानी सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि महाभाव स्वरूप श्री राधा ठाकुरानी सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि महाभाव स्वरूप श्री राधा ठाकुरानी सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि Anyone else? महाभाव स्वरूप श्री राधा ठाकुरानी सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि Okay, another verse. Let's see this also. Okay. कृष्ण प्रेम भावित्यान्द्र चित्तेन्द्रिय काय कृष्ण प्रेम भावितयान्द्र चित्तेन्द्रिय काय कृष्ण प्रेमे भावितयान्द्र चित्तेन्द्रिय काय कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीडा रसहाय कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीडा रसहाय कृष्ण प्रेम भावितयान्द्र चित्तेन्द्रिय काय कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीडा रसहाय Anyone? कृष्ण प्रेम भावितयान्द्र चित्तेन्द्रिय काय कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीडा रसहाय कृष्ण प्रेम भावितयान्द्र चित्तेन्द्रिय काय कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीडा रसहाय कृष्ण प्रेम भावितयान्द्र चित्तेन्द्रिय काय कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीडा रसहाय कृष्ण प्रेम भावित चित्तेन्द्रिय काया कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीडा. Okay, now meaning. Okay, so this is the meaning of that. Okay, Krishna. So the first one, Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. What is the translation of that? Sri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of what? Mahabhav. Mahabhava Swarupa. कौन है महाभाव स्वरूप? श्री राधा ठाकुरानी. ठाकुरानी मीन्स व्हाट? ठाकुर की वाइफ को क्या बोलते हैं? ठाकुरानी. शी इज महाभाव स्वरूप. शी इज द एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ महाभाव. शी इज द रेपोजिटरी ऑफ ऑल गुड क्वालिटीज. सर्व गुण खान. खान मतलब क्या हिंदी में? वेयर हाउस. सर्व गुण का खान है वो. सर्व गुण खानी. रिमेंबर दैट. महाभाव स्वरूप श्री राधा ठाकुरानी सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि. विच मीन्स व्हाट? शी इज द क्रेस्ट ज्वेल. शिरोमणि मतलब क्या? द क्रेस्ट ज्वेल. क्रेस्ट ज्वेल अमंग ऑल द लवली कंसॉर्ट्स ऑफ लॉर्ड कृष्णा. कृष्ण के जितने भी कांत हैं उसमें से क्या है? सर्वगुण खानी कृष्ण कांत शिरोमणि. सब कृष्ण कांत लोगों में से शी इज द क्राउन ज्वेल. शी इज द अल्टीमेट क्लोजेस्ट टू कृष्णा. देयर इज नोबडी हु इज क्लोजर टू कृष्णा देन श्रीमती राधारानी, एंड शी इज द एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ महाभाव. व्हाट इज महाभाव? महाभाव in the scriptures is said as the highest spiritual emotion any living entity can have. It is the highest spiritual emotion that any devotee can have towards Lord Krishna. उससे ऊपर का emotion हो ही नहीं सकता, right? That is called as what? महाभाव. And who is the embodiment of that महाभाव? Radharani. कहाँ से आता है वो महाभाव? Through her blessings it can come. Like that. She is the embodiment of that Mahabhav. Okay. So that is the translation of the first verse. The second one is her mind, senses and body are steeped in love for Krishna. Chittendriya kaya. मतलब उनका चित्त, और चित्त means what? Mind. Indriya means what? Senses. And kaya means what? That Vico turmeric ad, everyone remembers. तेरी काया को कंचन. Remember that ad or not? किसी को भी याद नहीं Vico turmeric ad. So if you don't forget all these things, remember advertisements. तो काया means what? Body. Okay. So chittendriya kaya means what? Mind, senses and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy and she helps him in his pastimes. The very purpose of existence of Radharani is what? To help Krishna in his pastimes. Okay. So with Srimati Radharani's blessings, let us attempt to discuss in the next 54 minutes we have about Srimati Radharani. Okay. We cannot cover everything, whatever I am going to cover there, but we will cover something. And even in the temple, I can't cover even 0.0005% of what Radharani's glories are. एक घंटे में क्या बोलेंगे राधारानी के बारे में, right? राधारानी के बारे में if we want to discuss, it will require minimum 20 classes. Minimum, right? Each 2 hours. तब भी कम पड़ेगा, फिर भी. Okay, so we'll try and just I'll give you some snippets so that you understand Radharani, and more importantly, we get in the mood of Radhasthami. Before any festival, it's important to get into the mood of worshipping the personality whose festival it is. Does that make sense? Okay. So, who is Srimati Radharani? So, Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We all know that. He is Swayam Bhagavan. Now, Bhagavan is never alone. भगवान comes always with his energies. आज सन निकला है लेकिन सनलाइट ही नहीं निकला, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. Where there is sun, there will be sunlight. या धुंधला होगा because of the clouds, the sunlight might be covered, but it is not possible that sunlight को you can tell sunlight, can you come without your light? Sun, It is not possible. Sun comes along with the light and heat. So Krishna Bhagavan is called as Shaktiman. Is called as what? Shaktiman. Shaktiman always comes with what? Shakti. Right? Who is that Shakti? Radharani. Of course, Radharani is one of the Shaktis. It's primary Shakti, but there are many Shaktis which Krishna has. Right? So Krishna has got 3 types of Shakti. What are the 3 types of Shakti he has got? If you want, you can make notes. If you don't want, no problem. It's up to you. Okay. Krishna has got 3 types of Shakti. Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti and Tathashta Shakti. Okay. Cricket bat याद रहेगा सबको? Bat. B for Bahiranga Shakti. A for Antaranga Shakti. And T for Tathashta Shakti. अभी bat तो याद रहेगा ना? Okay, you will never forget. Bat. Krishna always comes with this bat. Right? So these are 3 types of Shaktis. Antaranga means what? Internal potency. Antar, internal potency. Bahir Anga means what? External potency. And Tathashta means what? Beech ka, marginal potency. Right? This is Tathashta Shakti. So now we will not talk about Tathashta Shakti. Ka example क्या है? Who is Tathashta Shakti? Do you know of any Tathashta Shakti? हम लोग सब है ना इधर बैठा, इतना तथा शक्ति बैठा तो है इधर सब. राइट? वी ऑल बिलोंग टू व्हाट? द मार्जिनल एनर्जी ऑफ द लॉर्ड. क्यों मार्जिन ना इस साइड होता है ना उस साइड होता है. इन द मार्जिन यू कैन नेदर राइट द आंसर नॉट द आंसर नंबर. यू कैन नेदर राइट द क्वेश्चन नॉट द क्वेश्चन नंबर. दैट इज व्हाई मार्जिन इज देयर इन बिटवीन. ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड इज द क्वेश्चन नंबर, ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड ऑफ द मार्जिन इज द क्वेश्चन, नॉट आंसर, क्वेश्चन. Right? Or answer number and answer. Right? So we are in between. Why we are called Tathashta? Because we have a choice at any point in time to either serve the Antaranga or serve the Bahiranga. अपना choice है. That advertisement someone says ना, अपुन का choice है. Right? You remember that ad or no? No? नहीं, nobody remembers that. Huh? Okay. Okay. So there is a choice we have, apunka choice. We can choose to serve Krishna or we can choose to serve Maya. It's our choice. Choice nobody will take us. Devotees can inspire us to take shelter of Lord Krishna, but devotees cannot. Even Krishna himself does not force people to accept him. Right? So that is why we are called Tathashta. But today we will not talk about Tathashta Shakti. We will not even talk about Bahiranga Shakti. Bahiranga means who? What is Bahiranga Shakti? Maya. Right? Maya which acts on Tathashta Shakti. Bahiranga Shakti, what happens? Keeps the Tathashta Shakti rooted to this material world. Right? So today we are not going to talk about B and T. We are going to talk about A, which is Antaranga Shakti of the Lord. The Antaranga Shakti of the Lord is also called as Swarupa Shakti. Right? It doesn't matter if you don't remember all this. Okay? But what is important to understand that this Antaranga Shakti of the Lord or Swarup Shakti of the Lord has got 3 components: Sat, Chit and Anand. The Swarupa Shakti or Antaranga Shakti of the Lord has got what? 3 components: Sat, Chit and Anand. So again the Swarupa Shakti is divided into 3 based on the Sat, Chit and Anand feature. Sandini Shakti addresses the Sat aspect. Sat means what? Eternality. The eternality aspect. Sat का मतलब क्या है? Now you have to remember all this. Okay, from now. Sat means what? Eternality. Sat means sada. Sat. Sat means hamesha. Right? Eternal. So that is the Sat feature of the Lord. Chit means what? Knowledge or cognition in English. Knowledge. Just eternality without knowledge is one thing, but eternality with full knowledge, fully eternal and fully knowledgeable. But eternal knowledge and third aspect is what? Happy also, bliss, Anand, Sat, Chit and Anand. So therefore, the Lord's Antaranga Shakti, which is also called as Swarup Shakti, has got 3 aspects. The first aspect is called Sandini Shakti. Sandini Shakti addresses the eternality feature or the Sat feature of the Lord. What are examples of that? Mother Yashoda, Father Nand Baba, they are all eternally in the spiritual world. The spiritual world itself is eternal, right? The house of Krishna in the spiritual world is eternal. These are all eternal things. The paraphernalia of Krishna is eternal. Whatever he wears, his flute, everything is eternal, right? So ऐसा नहीं है something happened and flute टूट गया, अभी पता नहीं, हवा आया बहुत, और क्या है मेलबर्न के वेदर में फ्लूट भी सड़ जाता है, दूसरा लेके आता हूँ मार्केट से. नो, इट डजंट हैपन. द फ्लूट इज व्हाट? इटर्नल. एवरीथिंग हैज गॉट एन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इटर्नैलिटी, कभी खत्म नहीं होने वाला, राइट? सो दीज आर ऑल इटर्नल. सो दीज आर ऑल पार्ट ऑफ द संदिनी शक्ति ऑफ द लॉर्ड, which is the eternality aspect of the Lord. With that Shakti, Krishna is able to maintain eternality in everything. Does it make sense? Then comes the Samvit Shakti, Sandhini Shakti and Samvit Shakti. Samvit Shakti addresses which aspect? Chit aspect. Sandhini Shakti addresses the Sat aspect. Samvit Shakti addresses the Chit aspect of the Lord. So Sandhini Shakti and Samvit Shakti. Chit means what? Cognition or knowledge. Just like Sat means eternal, Chit means knowledge. So with the Samvit potency, Krishna knows himself and causes others to know him. Through this Shakti, Krishna knows himself and he causes all of us to know him and understand him. So this Shakti is also important, otherwise we'll never understand Krishna, right? But there is a third Shakti which is called as what? Alladini Shakti. What is that Shakti called as? Alladini Shakti. Sometimes it's also called as Ladini Shakti, but sometimes there is a H ahead of that. Alladini Shakti. Sometimes in Marathi we keep this name Allad, like that. Anyone called as Allad? We keep that name. That Allad comes from where? That Alladini Shakti of the Lord, right? So that Alladini Shakti is the aspect of bliss. Sat, Chit and Anand. Anand wala kya hai? Comes from. So Krishna gets pleasure from which aspect? His Alladini Shakti of the Lord. So Srimati Radharani is who? Which Shakti is she? Alladini Shakti of the Lord, right? So that we have to understand. She is the pleasure giving potency of the Lord. She gives pleasure to the Lord. She gives pleasure to all of us in our bhakti. So bhakti में बोर मार रहा है, that means राधा रानी का मर्सी नहीं है. It also means भक्ति नहीं कर रहे हैं बराबर से. चैंटिंग में कंटाल आता है. हरे कृष्णा. When will I watch Netflix? What does this mean? This means राधा रानी का मर्सी कम होते जा रहा है जीवन में. Something is गड़बड़. Not feeling enthusiastic to come for satsang. That means what? Maya is already trapping you with various new reasons, right? But Krishna ka mercy, how do we know Krishna's mercy on us? We will never be bereft of association of devotees. If we are always in association of devotees, 100% Krishna's mercy is there because he has seen our sincerity in bhakti, right? So therefore, and if we are happy in bhakti, it is important to be in bhakti, but it is more important to be happy also, na? Where does that come from? Radharani. She gives happiness in our bhakti. So Krishna is Shaktiman and Radharani is Alladini Shakti, right? Now, in that sense, Krishna and Radharani, Shakti and Shaktiman in one sense are the same and yet different, right? So therefore, she is non-different from Krishna in one sense, but she is different from him also in another sense, because everyone has come from Krishna only. Radharani also came from Krishna only. So she is different yet same in that sense. Okay. So now, talking of pleasure, because she is the pleasure giving potency to the Lord, Alladini Shakti. So Lord Krishna is known as Akhila Rasamrita Murti. What is Lord Krishna known as? Akhila Rasamrita Murti. What is Akhila Rasamrita Murti means what? That means Lord Krishna is the reservoir of all transcendental loving mellows. Now I know ye bhi bouncer gaya hai. Okay, I know that. Okay. It simply means that whatever types of loves are there in this world, Lord Krishna is the reservoir of all that love. Right? For example, we get pleasure and bliss by just observing something which is beautiful. We get pleasure and bliss from somebody who serves us very nicely. For example, if the Kamwali Bai in Bombay comes on time and she says, Devi, do you know of any such Kamwali Bai? Okay. So if she says, पहले आपका चरण दबा देती हूँ, फिर आप थक जाओगे, आप आराम कीजिए, पकोड़े रेडी हो जाएंगे. Suppose someone serves us like this, it will give us immense bliss. अरे यार कुछ कभी जाने मत देना, नेबर के पास नहीं जाने का, उधर उधर घूमने का नहीं, सोसाइटी में अपने ही घर पे काम करने का. करेक्ट? So we get bliss when someone serves, right? Right. And then we get bliss also when from our friends we get bliss, happiness through the medium of friendships. Friends may serve us also, but friends will also fight with us, and friends will know our secret. तेरा girlfriend कौन है? बताना है, बताना. What is this? There is some kind of happiness also. यार वो लड़की से मेरे को क्या बोलूँ यार, अभी मेरे को मतलब अच्छी लगती है यार. पापा को पता है, अरे यार तो मार डालेगा मेरे को, राइट? लेकिन दोस्त को पता है और उसमें हैप्पीनेस है, वो देख जा रही है. एंड फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो, अरे यार भाभी जी है यार. करेक्ट? तू इतना क्या डरता है यार, मैं हूं ना, मैं बात करता हूं उससे जाके. आई विल टेल योर एक्सटॉल योर ग्लोरीज टू हर. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? फ्रेंड्स. रिमेंबर योर कॉलेज हॉस्टल डेज, राइट? So this is friends. So friends also give us happiness, right? And then comes the happiness from our parents. That's a different. There is control also, right? From parents, but parents give us a different type of happiness, unconditional love from parents. बेटा तू कुछ भी कर तो मेरा बेटा ही रहेगा, right? And parents always want to serve us. They don't want anything from us, correct? That is also gives happiness. Now, what am I talking about? Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras. Above that is what? Madhuryaras. Oi, ina mina tina. College, right? Because उसको पाने के बाद दोस्तों को बोलते हैं, तुम लोग क्या कर रहे हो यार, अभी जाओ यार, डिस्टर्ब मत करो हम लोगों को. करेक्ट? बगीचे में बैठा हूँ. Will you take your friends along to the बगीचा? No, you will say, अरे बाद में मिलते हैं यार, शाम को मिलता हूँ, सब बोलता हूँ. Correct? Right? So this is called as what? Madhurya ras. Okay? So this is higher. In Madhurya ras, the person forget Vatsalya also. Correct? No? I told you examples of that, right? What is the example of that? What is that? I told you one song also, ना? कौन सा song बोला था मैंने आपको? I also forgot the song, right? What is that song? मैं प्रेमी तू प्रेमी, मैं राजी तू राजी, फिर क्या डैडी क्या अम्मा, एक बस तू ही प्यार के काबिल, सारा जहां है निकम्मा. राइट? तो जब लड़की मिल गई तो क्या हो गया? क्या डैडी क्या अम्मा. नाउ इफ यू फॉरगेट रसस, रिमेंबर दिस सॉन्ग एट लीस्ट. ओके? उससे तो याद आ जाएगा ना. दैट इज व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग. ओके? If you remember, I will not sing all these songs, okay? But you have to remember. Otherwise, I will tell these songs so that you remember this, okay? ये याद रखना है हमेशा. So Vatsalya ras, and above that is what? Madhurya ras. Now in Madhurya ras, which is conjugal love with the Lord, there are two types. One is called as Swakiya ras, and one is called as Parakiya ras. Swakiya ras means what? Conjugally united with the Lord in a relationship of marriage. Conjugally associating with the Lord in the relationship of a marriage. मैं भगवान की पत्नी हूँ. That is called as what? Marriage. No. And marriage is socially acceptable. Correct? There is no risk. If you are going with, if I am going with my wife, my father is not going to, hey, what's going on? But if my father catches me with girlfriend, what is that? Who was that girl? Right? Because that is not socially acceptable. Right? Even for the girl, किसके साथ घूम रही है? One slap. कल से उससे मिलना बंद. डैडी मुझे वो वड़ा पाव वाला अच्छा लगता है. इंजीनियर देखा है तेरे लिए, अमेरिका में कॉग्निजेंट में है. ओके, नो वे वड़ा पाव वाला. डैडी मेरी विश है. पड़ा, वन मोर स्लैप. करेक्ट, वी नो ऑल दिस थिंग्स, राइट? सो देयरफॉर Madhurya Ras, society sees only from a point of view of a structure, socially accepted within the norms of society. That relationship, that is called as what? Swakiya Ras. But beyond that is what? Parakiya Ras, where the soul says, I don't care for social conventions. Mirabai, Radharani, they don't care for social conventions. To hell with social conventions. Even if the whole world calls me whatever they want to call me, मैं तेरी Krishna. Right? So that is why this, where, and Krishna, what does he say in Bhagavad Gita? What is the highest last instruction in Bhagavad Gita? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vaja. Sab chhod do. Don't even worry about the prestige of this world, what log kya kahenge. Sometimes we are even worried, na, going with dhoti. अरे दोस्त लोग ने देख लिया तो बोलेगा क्या हो गया कौस्तुभ, धोती में आया है, क्या हो गया रे तेरे को, सैलरी दे रहा है नहीं कंपनी, जॉब गया है क्या? राइट? एंड जस्ट इमेजिन, नो, स्टैंडिंग गोइंग इन धोती एंड डूइंग हरिनाम ऑन द रोड. राइट? बोलेगा कस्टमर दिखेगा तो क्या बोलेगा यार? What about all the office people see me like this? They will say, what happened man? Tomorrow onward मेरा रिस्पेक्ट को क्या होगा ऑफिस में? मैं तो सूट एंड टाइम में जाता हूँ ऑफिस में, ये धोती में दिखेगा तो रिस्पेक्ट कम हो जाएगा. They will become over familiar with me. I have to maintain my respect. They can't see me in anything but a branded suit. Right? When you can get rid of that, you say, to hell with this world, Krishna. I will do anything for you. That is called as what? That is highest, right? Where you don't care about what people think of you. That is why it is said that Madhurya Ras in Parakiya Ras is the highest, right? So now further, ये Parakiya Ras में और एक problem है. One is you are available to Krishna all the time. But sometimes Krishna is not available to you. How? He leaves Vrindavan and goes to Mathura. And the gopis are crying. Not only crying, they have become mad for Krishna. Okay. This is called as what? Love in separation. It is said that love in separation is higher than love in union. Correct? You would have experienced this in the material world, right? When you are in your house, when you go and meet your parents, झगड़ा होता है क्या नहीं parents के साथ? होता है. कभी कभी family feud, everything happens. But what happens in the airport when they are telling, okay पुत्र, right? And then when you are in the flight, sir, welcome to Malaysian Airlines, which is flying you back to. We have the best in-flight entertainment. Do you want to? You are in a mood to see in-flight entertainment at that time? याद कहाँ है? Right? It's like the border movie. What is that song which makes everyone emotional? मैं वापस आऊँगा. That is what plays, right? So then that's the mood, right? And उसमें क्या होता है? The love grows even more fonder and fonder and fonder. So this is that beauty of love in separation. So that the embodiment of that love in separation is who? Srimati Radharani. So that is why we have to understand who is Radharani properly, right? So that is one. So the Vedas are the highest truth, right? There is nothing higher than the Vedas. They speak about everything that is to be known to mankind, right? The Vedas deal with lots of subject matters. What are the four subject matters of the Vedas? याद नहीं है? Okay, I told this in the class before. DAKM. Okay, नहीं तो याद रखो, एक तो मैड याद रख सकते हो ना कम से कम. मोक्ष, अर्थ, धर्म एंड काम. But in reverse way, in this proper order, it is what? Dharma, artha, काम and moksha. These are the four subject matters of the Vedas. Dharma means what? Religiosity. Artha means what? Economic development. Kama means what? Sense enjoyment. And moksha means what? Liberation from the material world. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Right? But there is a fifth item which the Vedas articulate as a part of moksha, but people don't understand that clearly. The fifth item is called Panchama Purushartha. That is bhakti. The Vedas talk about bhakti, but bhakti is a very small section in the Vedas. It culminates actually in bhakti. All this, higher than all this is bhakti bolke Vedas outline bhakti, right? In the Upasana Kand, Vedas talk about bhakti, right? So when someone has to study the Vedas, then what happens? They'll have to go through all this unnecessary syllabus of Dharma, Artha and Kama. Can you not come directly to the point? So what happens? The Vedas, Vedvyas, what did he do? He took the essence of the Vedas and presented it as what? Vedanta Sutra. But Vedanta Sutra itself was very big. Therefore, uska bhi essence, ganne ka ras nikal ke, it was presented as what? Srimad Bhagavatam. श्रीमद् भागवतम में भी इतना वॉल्यूम है ना, वो भी अपने से किधर होने वाला है. If I tell you, it is just the essence, only 18,000 verses. You will think, hang on, भगवद गीता में कितना वर्ष है? 700. 18,000 divided by 700 is how much, Ishan? I will not ask you. Exam is over. Okay, so 1800 divided by, can you imagine 18,000 verses 700 verses. So if we can't even study the Bhagavad Gita, 700 में in Gujarati we say हांजा गगड़ी गया, correct? हालत खराब होता है उसमें, correct? तो 18,000 verses में क्या हालत होगा? Can you imagine? Right? So therefore Bhagavatam still is the essence of the Vedas, but the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam was also given. That book is called as what? Brihad Bhagavatamrit. Brihad Bhagavatamrit is a book which is studied after studying Srimad Bhagavatam, right? But Brihad Bhagavatamrit में मतलब फटाफट बताओ कि हाईएस्ट क्या है, क्या पाना है, किसको पाना है जल्दी, उसमें भी हाईएस्ट क्या है, भक्ति में भी हाईएस्ट क्या है. That's what Brihad Bhagavatamrita comes. So in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, Narad Muni is going around the world and trying to find out who is the closest to Krishna. He is going around. कृष्ण के सबसे करीब कौन है भाई? So therefore he comes to earth and he starts going door to door. First he meets a Brahman. Then he says, oh Brahman एकदम अच्छा से worship कर रहा है. Brahman बोलता है, अरे you have got the highest mercy of the Lord. Then Brahman says, मैं नहीं. I'm cutting a very long story short. It's a big story. Okay. Brahman says, मैं तो सिर्फ I am only serving myself. But look at the king. The king is taking responsibility for the whole society, right? The king bolta hai, not me, Indra. Indra is taking care of the whole planet. Then the Narad Muni goes to Indra. But he is more, Krishna has given more empowerment to Indra. Indra says, क्या बात कर रहा है नारद मुनि? मेरा बॉस है ब्रह्मा. मैं तो सिर्फ स्वर्गलोक का इंचार्ज हूँ. But Brahma has created the whole 14 planetary systems, right? So he goes to Brahma. Brahma says that क्या बक रहा है? Me, closest to the Lord, higher than me is Shankar Mahadev, Lord Shivji. He says, who can be more dearer to Lord Krishna? Look at the power of Lord Shiva, look at my power. There is no comparison. Krishna has definitely empowered him more. Look at his bhakti and my bhakti. I didn't drink poison for the Lord. It is he who drank poison. Neelakant, Lord Shiva, right? He goes to Lord Shiva, says that Lord Shiva, you are the greatest. लॉर्ड शिवा सेज क्या बात कर रहा है? दैट पर्सन हु कैन एंड्योर ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ ऑर्डियल्स, ओके, हु कैन एंड्योर डेथ थ्रेट्स, इवन विल थ्रेटन टू बी किल्ड, स्टिल ही has firm faith that Krishna will protect. That person is more dearer to the Lord, right? So he points out to who? Prahlad. Can you see how much he was tortured by his father? उसके father को वरदान भी मेरे से ही मिलता है ऐसा demons को, correct? He says that no, he is most dearer. He can endure anything for the Lord. Even I get angry sometimes, but Prahlad never gets angry. What patience! So Prahlad is more dearer. Then he goes to Prahlad. Prahlad says, me. Narsimadev came and Narsimadev saved my life by coming out of the pillar. Right? He tore my father's body. He was a demon. He was torturing me. So Narsimadev protected me. So Narsimadev is actually serving me. Higher than me is that person who doesn't accept service but only is serving the Lord. Who does he refer to? He goes to Hanuman. Hanuman ji. Ram Ratan. What is that? Sada raho Raghupati ke dasa. So he says, हमेशा रामचंद्र के चरण में रहते हो आप? तो हनुमान जी बोलते क्या बात कर रहे हैं, मैं हाईएस्ट डिवोटी, मतलब यस आई सर्व लॉर्ड रामचंद्र जी, ही इज इन माई हार्ट, छाती फाड़ के दिखाता हूं मेरे हार्ट में है, बट फिर भी मेरा औकात क्या है? दास। सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, मैं तो सिर्फ दास या रस वाला आदमी हूं भाई। हायर देन मी मोर क्लोजनेस, रामचंद्र को कुछ सर्विस है तो मैं हूं, बट उनका मोस्ट कॉन्फिडेंशियल टॉपिक्स कृष्णा, हु ही डिस्कसेस विथ हिज फ्रेंड, हु इज दैट? अर्जुन। बोलता है अर्जुन, सी द टाइम दैट लॉर्ड रामचंद्र विथ मी, ओके, एंड लुक एट हिज रिलेशनशिप विद अर्जुन। मैं रामचंद्र का दास हूं एंड कृष्णा अर्जुन का पार्थसारथी है, ही बिकम्स दास फॉर अर्जुन। तो कौन क्लोज है भाई? You are closest to your boss when your boss say I will drive your car and pick you up from home every day to office and drop you back also. ये कौन सा बॉस है भाई? So, मैं तो सिर्फ बॉस को सर्व कर रहा हूँ डेली, राइट? बट बॉस जिसको सर्व कर रहा है, सोचो, सो दैट इज अर्जुन। अर्जुन के पास जाते हैं नारद मुनि, अर्जुन यू आर द हाईएस्ट, यू हैव गॉट द मोस्ट मर्सी ऑफ द लॉर्ड, यू आर द ग्रेटेस्ट डिवोटी। अर्जुन बोलता है क्या बात कर रहे हो नारद मुनि, कोई मिला नहीं सवेरे से, राइट? ही सेज यस कृष्ण मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा मिलते हैं, यस ही इज अ सर्वेंट टू मी ऑल्सो, राइट, ही हैज सर्व्ड मी ऑल्सो, बट कृष्ण एक हद के ज़्यादा मेरे, ही विल नॉट बिकम वल्नरेबल विथ मी, he will never tell me that he is missing राधा रानी। कुछ भी हो जाए उतना लेवल तक नहीं जाएंगे कृष्ण, राइट? he will tell me lot of things but he will not tell me the innermost vulnerabilities of his, he will not tell me। तो नारद मुनि says किसको बोलते हैं कृष्ण? closest friend, who? he says who? उद्धव, right? why? because Krishna becomes vulnerable to Uddhava। कृष्णा से उद्धव मैंने शादी कर लिया इन लोगों से, लेकिन मेरा मन उधर है यार वृंदावन में, कौन बोलेगा? कृष्णा didn't even tell Arjun that, he only told this to Uddhava। and you know what, every day morning when Krishna wakes up, who does he see? Uddhava। इतना close, so close to Uddhava, right? sharing all his secrets from his heart, which he will not dare tell anyone, he shares, okay? so नारद मुनि बोलता है उद्धवा के पास जाते हैं, बोलता है उद्धवा फाइनली आई हैव मेट, हो गया काम, you are the closest to Lord because he reveals all his secrets to you। so उद्धवा starts laughing, he says मजाक कर रहे हो नारद मुनि? हाँ, you are right, मुझे भी ऐसा लगता था, तो मैंने भी लॉर्ड कृष्णा को बोला, भगवान तू मेरे से ज़्यादा कौन जान सकता है तुझे, सो आई एम गोइंग टू गो एंड गिव योर मैसेज टू एवरीवन. तो कृष्णा सेड होल्ड ऑन, तू एक काम कर, यू गो एंड गिव द मैसेज ऑफ माई ग्रेटनेस इन अ प्लेस कॉल्ड गोकुल, वृंदावन. ओके, इन व्रजभूमि. गो टू वृंदावन एंड गिव माई मैसेज. मथुरा से द्वारका से जाओ, वृंदावन जाके यू कैन देन टॉक अबाउट मी. ओके, सो उद्धव गोस एंड ही गोज एंड टॉक्स टू हु, द गोपीस और गोपास ऑफ वृंदावन. ओके, तो उन लोगों को बोलते हैं कृष्णा इज सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉड हेड. With his one finger he can do that, this. With his breathing of his body as Mahavishnu he can produce universe. And all the gopis are looking at him like this. क्या बोल रहा है? कछु समझ में ही ना आए, कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, क्या बक रहा है यार. अपना लाला के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, बोलते रहे कृष्णा के बारे में, अपना लाडला. That is their mood. Uddhava still has got understanding of godhood of Godhead, but the gopis are so innocent, they have nothing to do with Krishna's godhood only. उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कृष्णा भगवान है या नहीं, उनको सिर्फ क्या है, मेरा कृष्णा. राइट. फॉर यशोदा माई, she doesn't seek protection from the Lord. She doesn't say, Krishna please protect me from the demons. What does Yashodama say? She prays to Narayana to protect Krishna. मेरा छोटा सा कृष्णा जा रहा है, उसके पैर में चोट लग जाएगा. So she tells the cows, तुम लोग आगे जाओ, गाय लोग, because the cows have what? Hoof. So with that they crush all the stones. So रज की मट्टी बहुत soft, so that when my Kanha walks behind you, then it doesn't hurt his tender feet, because चोट आ जाएगी उसको. And then she tells Balram, उसका ध्यान रखना, खाता नहीं है बराबर. All the gopas, you please ensure whatever I have given, चपाती वपाती दिया, सब खा के आए हो बराबर. आजकल हेल्थ का ध्यान ही नहीं रखता है वो, पूरा टाइम गाय चलता रहता है. राइट. And protect him from any demons that are coming. So she is completely oblivious to the fact that her son is God. Right. And then as much as Yashoda Mai is great, then what happens? Further goes to the gopis, out of which the primemost is who? Radharani. Krishna establishes that Radharani is greater than who? Yashoda Mai. There is a pastime. I will tell you about that pastime. Okay. I don't know whether you have heard of this pastime. So once upon a time, Krishna is with Radharani, and Krishna is glorifying Radharani. महाभाव स्वरूप श्री राधा ठाकुरानी, all that thing Krishna is saying. ऐसा कोई नहीं है, you are the greatest. Krishna himself is saying. And then Krishna says one word, says that even Yashoda Mai cannot stand in front of your love for me. Even you are more greater than Yashoda. Krishna herself tells her that, Radharani, your love is higher than Yashoda Mai's love, and therefore you are greater than her. तो राधा रानी इज लाफिंग एट हिम. ही सेज, आप कुछ भी बोल रहे हो सवेरे से. अगेन शी ऑल्सो सेज, कोई मिला नहीं सवेरे से. यू आर जस्ट सिंपली ग्लोरीफाइंग मी. योर वर्ड्स कैन नॉट बी ट्रस्टेड. यू आर अ ब्लैक डिबॉची, शी कॉल्स. काले रंग का है, तो झूठ कभी भी बोल सकता है किसी को भी. ओके, सो आई विल नॉट ट्रस्ट यू. तो कृष्णा सेज, रियली मैं बोल रहा हूँ. इन बंगाली व्हाट इज दैट? सच्ची. आई विल, सच्ची मैं बोल रहा हूँ. नो, you are glorious. So what happens? There is a pastime that is arranged, okay, in this. One day what happens? The gopis, they call Krishna to the courtyard to play, okay. And when the gopis are around Krishna, what happens? जो भी बोलते हैं, Krishna dances to their tunes. Sometimes he doesn't even listen to Yashoda. That's why Yashoda mother says ना, मैं नहीं माखन खायो. Okay, he doesn't listen. Go and steal butter. फिर भी he disobeys. But with gopis what happens? He is absolutely surrendered. So the gopis tell Krishna, dance. So he starts dancing. Stop dancing. He stops dancing. Right? Sing. So Krishna starts singing. Walk like a peacock. Krishna starts walking like peacock. Completely under the control of the gopis. That Lord who controls this entire universe, of whom even Yamaraj is scared, he is just like a simple surrendered boy in front of the gopis. So one day what happens, the gopis call him and they say that Krishna chalo, and Krishna is dancing with them. They are all doing kirtans and Krishna is dancing, everybody is dancing. अभी वहाँ से यशोदा माँ आती है वहाँ पे suddenly. Yashoda Ma says that what nonsense is going on here. My boy full day उसने गाय चर के आया है, किधर जाके? Where? In the fields. He is tired and now he should be sleeping. Because of you people he is not getting enough rest only. पूरा टाइम उसको नचाते रहते हो तुम लोग. मेरा छोटा सा काना थक जाएगा. So all the gopis look at him and says, कौन Krishna? So he says, yeah. My Krishna, how can I am his mother? No. She said, this is not your Krishna. He said, what? Are, this is Krishna. I don't know my son. Are, your Krishna is not this. Your Krishna is Gopal. He is go home. You will see that he is at home. You go home and see. He is not here. He is sleeping at home. So what happens? She says that क्या बकवास चल रहा है इधर. So because now the gopis told that this is not your Krishna, this is our Krishna, and that too they are not even saying he is Krishna. He is saying that this is our Krishna. So he says that your Krishna, my Krishna, what is this nonsense? She says that why do you think there can be only one person who can be Krishna? There can be many people who look like your son. This is another Krishna looking like your son, but he is not your son. So he says, how do I know? So to go home. So she goes home, and then when she goes home, he sees Krishna peacefully sleeping. He is already must be resting there. तुम गलत किसी और को तुम्हारा बच्चा बोल रहे हो. Okay. So Yashoda goes there, and then she sees Krishna, sleeping there peacefully. But this is also Krishna. He also attracted. माँ है ना, माँ बच्चे को नहीं पहचानेगी. So she is now attached to that Krishna also. So she is thinking. बट वो तो बहुत प्यारा था, मुझे कुछ फर्क ही नहीं दिख रहा है दोनों में. लाइक वन मदर टू चिल्ड्रन, नो डिफरेंस, एंड दैट टू द सेम चाइल्ड, राइट. सो हर मातृत्व और अफेक्शन इज द सेम फॉर बोथ. सो शी सेज अभी उसको देखूं या इसको देखूं, वो भी आई एम मिसिंग हिम नाउ और आई एम मिसिंग एंड ही इज हियर. सो शी गोज बैक एंड शी सेज दैट लुक राधारानी, yes I thank you, my Krishna is at home, but ye bhi Krishna I am liking. No, I don't know why I can't take my eyes off him also. I feel the same feelings for him. So how about we bring both the Krishnas together and all of us, they both will dance together. Okay, and that way I will derive more happiness. So Radharani says no, sorry. He says that because they look so similar, what happens if they get mixed up and your Krishna is given to us? We want our Krishna only. So we will not accept your Krishna. So then Yashoda Mati, ये तो बराबर है. This is a घोर, what is that? घोर संकट, घोर संकट. So Radharani says, अच्छा ठीक है. What we will do is we cannot disobey you. You are senior to us. What we will do, we will put sandalwood pulp in our Krishna's forehead. Okay, that way he will be distinguished from your Krishna. So कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया तो no problem. So they put sandalwood pulp on Gopi's Krishna, and this Krishna is without that sandalwood pulp. Now they both start going like this and they start dancing. What is it called? Fugudi na in Marathi. Like that. Going round and round and round like that. Okay. So they start going round जाते हैं. So कौन कृष्ण है? मेरा कृष्णा तेरा कृष्णा. That is what is Yashoda Ma is thinking. Right? And then finally they are going doing this and finally what happens? One Krishna, right? And then Yashoda Mai says that okay Krishna, enough. She thinks that the Gopi's Krishna has gone somewhere. Okay, वो भाग गया. So she says come, घर चलते हैं. And Radha ने बोलते हेलो, किसको लेके जा रही है? बोलते हैं कृष्णा. बोलते ये तेरा कृष्णा नहीं है. बोलते ये तो मेरा कृष्णा है. बोलता है ना देखो सैंडलवुड तिलक. तो Yashoda Mai is completely heartbroken. She says, oh my God, then where is my Krishna? So you people must have hidden him somewhere. Gopi say, we don't know. You were in front of us only. You saw everything happening. We were in front of you only. Everything is happening in front of you. Where is the question of we hiding your Krishna anywhere? Right? So she says that no, there is some trick going on, and she becomes completely crestfallen. And Yashoda mother's love is not like our love. That ठीक है एक दिन मंदिर नहीं आया तो चलते हैं बाद में, अभी तो कल ही जाके आए यार, अभी किधर वापस मंदिर जाने का. It is not like that. Even if she doesn't see him for a moment, she will lose her life. It's like that. Okay. So what she does is she says that no, I don't understand. मेरे को मेरा कृष्णा वापस चाहिए. Somehow you have to help me. And then Radharani, only you can help me in this. Okay, because I've heard that about your glories. Therefore, you will have to help me somehow. I am falling at your feet. So what happens? She falls at the feet of Radharani, right? And which is who wanted all this? Krishna wanted all this thing. That Yashoda mother will take the dust of your feet, because Madhurya Ras is higher than Vatsalya Ras, whatever it is. So Krishna enacts this pastime. So what happens? She falls at her feet, and Radharani, she is not in that mode. She is very humble, right? Radharani says, "Kya kar rahe ho? Aap to mere se badi ho, and you are like mother to me. You shouldn't be, falling at my feet and all that." But she says, no. I want to. You have to bring back my Kanha. Where is he? Bolke, she becomes unconscious. Okay, on the spot. And then Radharani is telling Krishna, "Kya kar raha hai tu? Why are you doing this? Why are you harassing your mother unnecessarily? I never asked you." Krishna says, "Shh, Antirak." Then what happens? After some time, then what happens? Krishna tells Radharani, you go into her ears and tell her, Yashoda ma, aapka Gopal mil gaya. She tells like that. You just tell my name to her and tell her that Gopal I have found. The moment she hears that, she comes out of her unconsciousness of her. And then what happens? She says, where is he? He says that nothing, we found him. In the meantime that you were unconscious, we found him. We heard that he is in your house only, and you go and check in your house. He went to your house to rest. So he was tired. No, he didn't. They said that no, he was very tired. We put him to rest in your house. So he's happily resting. So he says, Sachi. Then he says, go and see. And then he goes. And by the time Krishna merges back there, and then when she goes home, he is sleeping in bed happily. So this is the pastime that Krishna orchestrates to make Yashoda Mai fall at whose feet? Radharani's feet. So, time and again, the whole point that Krishna brings in devotional life is that there cannot be a devotee who loves me more than Srimati Radharani, and nobody can get as much love from anyone of me as much as they can get from Srimati Radharani. So if we want to get Krishna Bhakti, who should we pray to? Radharani, because she is the reservoir of all Krishna Bhakti, right? There is one more pastime I will tell you. Okay. Because what happens is, in this world, Radharani is often misunderstood. Okay, it is said that if you misunderstand Radharani, you will never get bhakti. If you think of her as someone who is, left her husband and going and if the moment that thought, because this is all mundane affairs of the material world. Because who is Radharani? Krishna himself. We should not forget that, right? But still, the world considers, some people call Radharani as unchaste. You know what's unchaste, right? They question her chastity, right? So Krishna says, Radharani is one day lamenting to Krishna, saying that what kind of life is this for me? Okay, everyone is, सब लोग मुझे ऐसा unchaste करके सोचते हैं. Even my mother-in-law is calling sometimes that I am thinking me that I am not chaste, like that. Okay, so Krishna says, don't worry. Okay, so one day what happens? Krishna is in his house, and he develops high temperature. He develops very high fever. Last time you remember, Krishna has a headache, the children did. So he develops high fever. Now in that fever, unka badan tap raha hai. And who is losing consciousness? Yashoda Mai. Kanha, mera bachcha, right? And all you mothers can know that. बच्चे को कुछ भी हो जाता है तो पूरा जिंदगी we can't think of anything else, right? We become very unsettled despite everything else, right? So you can imagine Yashoda mother, whose child is Krishna himself, right? So Krishna is having fever, so she tells Nanda Baba, go and get physician. क्या कर रहे हो? And Nanda Baba is also running around. He says, okay, जाके देखता हूँ कोई वैद्य है क्या यहाँ पे? Okay, so he goes to get vaidya, but on that day he doesn't find anyone. So Nanda Baba is completely terrified. So he comes back to the palace. When he comes outside his palace, there is a physician who is standing. Okay, this physician is the most beautiful physician he has ever seen. I will not tell you who is this. Why you are saying? Why you are breaking the suspense? Kajol is the murderer. ऐसा क्यों बोलते हो आप? In what is that movie? गुप्त. पूरा suspense तोड़ दिया आपने. So but this doctor, ये कुछ अलग ही doctor है, वैद्य. So Nanda Baba comes. He says, who are you? He says, I am doctor. I was just going around treating patients. Okay. So he says, can you treat fever? He says, of course. No, I am expert at this, treating such fevers. So he says, can you come inside? My son Krishna is not well. He says, oh, sure, why not? And he comes inside. So he tests, stethoscope वगैरह लगाते हैं, whatever scope is there. He's an Ayurvedic doctor, by the way. So he touches the Lord and he says, ताप बढ़ गया है, बुखार बहुत बड़ा हुआ है, लेकिन ये तो क्या है? I know how to cure this. So tell me anything we will do to cure. इसके लिए यमुना नदी से पानी लाना पड़ेगा. क्या लाना पड़ेगा? From Yamuna Nadi water has to be brought. Okay. Tell someone to go immediately. No. The water has to be bought in a pot which has got 1,000 holes. Right? 1,000 holes जो pot में, उधर से पानी कैसे ला सकता है? Correct. So everyone is thinking, what? Not possible, right? And you have to walk from one end of the Yamuna Nadi to other end of the Yamuna Nadi. There is a bridge that will be made of hair. So the person has to walk on a bridge made of hair and then go to the other end to Yamuna, fetch it and come back. And how many holes will be there in the pot? 1,000 holes will be there in the pot. So everyone is thinking, how this is possible? He says that it is possible. The scriptures say that whoever is the most chaste woman, she will be able to do this. Or rather, whoever is the most chaste woman, that person is always empowered by the Lord to do this, like that. So they are all breaking their head now. Abhi kaun jayega? So different people are sent. But hair kahan se aayega? So what happens? The doctor says the hair has to be of the patient. So he cuts hairs of Krishna and then he sends it, and there is a bridge that is built. Okay. This is all spiritual. Don't see it with your Chandrayaan lens. Okay. Spiritual world, all these pastimes are happening. This is called Leela. Leela is not within, they will not fit in material logic, right? Just like, okay, I'll talk about that later. So, bridge is built. So many people are sent, one after the other. One of the persons sent is, they are thinking is, okay, we will send Yashoda Mai. Now Yashoda Mai is she chaste or no? 100% she is. Who will doubt? So then the doctor tells, no, but the scriptures say that mother cannot go. So Yashoda mother also cannot go. So what they say is that, okay, Jatila and Kutila, the mother-in-law, she is like the next mother, no? Both of them, mother-in-law and what is that called as? Husband ka sister ko kya bolte hain? Sister-in-law. They both go because they are the ones who are always hammering Radharani all the time. So both of them go. They fall down. Everyone has to be brought back. Finally, what happens? Radharani goes there. When Radharani goes there, what happens? The moment she climbs the bridge, what happens? And she fills the water. It is said that Krishna with his 1,000, he expands his fingers into 1,000 fingers and plugs all the holes in the water. And then they come back and they do it and Krishna is revived. So this is how Krishna proves that Radharani is the most chaste, and everyone then accepts her chastity. Krishna himself takes responsibility that I am going to prove that you are the most chaste. there is another pastime also where Krishna gets married to Radharani. I'm not going to tell that because it's already 8:58. Okay. But tomorrow in the class, if you hear, then I will, if there is time there, I will tell this pastime. Okay, how Krishna actually marries. Who is the priest in the marriage? Brahma himself conducted the marriage. Kanyadan kisne kiya? Brahma ji in the forest. Okay. All the Devi Devatas come and they attend that wedding. Okay. But after the marriage, what happens? Krishna makes Radharani. No, forget that marriage. In one sense, she knows about the marriage, but Krishna changes his form into a baby form after the marriage and does not come in the Kaishora form again in front of Radharani. Why? Because this is not Swakiya Ras. This is what? Parakiya Ras. Like that. A different pastime. Now, whenever we speak about Lord Krishna's pastime in the spiritual world, some of these pastimes we may not understand from our material senses. So I will just end with this one pastime, Chota pastime, which will be there in 2 minutes. I'll tell this. Do you know that once Narad Muni came down to earth and Narad Muni wanted to see how much faith people have in Krishna and the spiritual world. Kitna faith hai hum logon ko, because bhakti is all about faith which is beyond material logic, right? So Narad Muni comes down. So he comes down and he meets one Brahman. वो daily Krishna Krishna Narayan Narayan बोलता रहता है. He does all puja part, everything he does. So Narad Muni comes to him and says, अरे ब्राह्मणा कैसे हो भाई पंडित जी? तो he says अच्छा हूँ. तो बोलते हैं, so the Brahman asks Narad Muni, आपका तो उठना बैठना है भगवान के साथ. Okay. You are always with Narayan, right? You can go anywhere because Narad Muni can do interplanetary travel, no? So he says, Narad Muni, आप ही बताइए भगवान क्या कर रहे हैं इस वक्त? What is he doing? So Narad Muni says, the Lord is threading an elephant through the eyes of a needle. What is he doing? He is removing an elephant through the eyes of a needle. एक छोटा सा सुई है, उसका आइज छोटा सा, उसमें से एलिफेंट को बाहर निकाल रहा है. तो क्या है, कोई मिला नहीं सवेरे से अगेन. ये क्या बकवास है, कुछ भी बोलता है आके. लॉर्ड इज सेइंग, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, ही सेज. So Narad Muni says okay. Then he walks and then he goes, and the next station what he meets a person who has not studied any Veda. Okay, he is a cobbler. You know what's a cobbler? Mochi. But he is a very simple hearted man. Okay, who has full faith that the Lord can do anything. So he goes and tells, अरे मोची जी कैसे हो? बोले साहब बहुत दिन के बाद आया, क्या हो गया? चप्पल तो ठीक है? नहीं सब ठीक है, बस आ गया ऐसे घूम रहा था. So he says, अरे नारद मुनि आप आए तो इतना तो बताइए भगवान क्या कर रहे हैं? Then he tells the mochi, the Lord is threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. The mochi says, क्या बात है यार, क्या बात है? अरे ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है भगवान के लिए. बोलता सच में you believe what I say? So what do you mean believe I say? For the Lord anything is possible, right? And he says the Lord can create universes through the tiny pores of his body. The Lord has packed the entire banyan tree, which is a big tree, into a seed. The whole elephant itself is packed into a small seed from which comes baby elephant. So why can't the Lord? And that semen can't even be seen except through a microscope, and in that semen a whole human being is born. And then Narad Muni says, yes, you have understood everything. Then that's what. End of chapter. So this is called as what? Faith, which is beyond the paradigms of material logic. But even from a material logic, you will understand this. The Lord packs human beings into a small semen which cannot even be seen with our eyes. Under a microscope, they have to study, right? The Lord packs the whole respiratory system, digestive system of a mosquito. Who has done it? Which scientist has done it, right? And that mosquito also lives its life with its family. Correct? Apna khoon choosta hai. Correct? So the Lord can become the smallest of the smallest. He can become the largest of the largest. So what is impossible? So this is called faith. So whenever we discuss these pastimes, our faith is going to be increased or tested rather. It's a choice. But these are all facts, spiritual pastimes coming in the scriptures. In the spiritual world, all these things are happening, right? So this is the glory of Radharani. There are many more glories, but we don't have time today. It's 9:03. So I'll stop here. So we'll pray for everyone's bhakti. All of you also pray to Srimati Radharani. Nobody can give Krishna bhakti. We cannot attain Krishna without mercy of Srimati Radharani, right? And we cannot attain Srimati Radharani's mercy without the mercy of Krishna. So what is the way of doing that? The way of attaining Radharani is by, her mercy is by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The word Hare refers to who? Srimati Radharani. It comes from Hara. Hara is the Alladini Shakti of the Lord. That is why the word Hare, we start Hare. So we take Radharani's blessings before we chant the name of Krishna. That's why this is Mahamantra. This Mahamantra can deliver a very conditioned soul, can get into any of the 5 rasas. So Radharani, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has the potency to give Shantaras, Dasyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras, Sakyaras, everything. That is why it's called as what? Mahamantra, right? So this will unite us with God. So on the occasion of Radharani, tomorrow, what is one of the best ways of pleasing Srimati Radharani? I will tell you. Is to take some kind of a sankalpa. So if you want to chant some number of rounds, tomorrow pray to Srimati Radharani, please give me the strength that Ajivan I will at least chant this many rounds. And tomorrow specifically, if you can chant 16 rounds, even if you are not chanting, it is very good. And if you are chanting 16 rounds, tomorrow is the chance to chant more than 16. You can chant 32, 64, whatever. Whatever we do tomorrow for Srimati Radharani, the amount of bliss you cannot get on any other day other than tomorrow. It's even more mercy than what Janmashtami can give you. Okay, so please remember Srimati Radharani with all your hearts. If possible, come to this temple. If you want to take any services, come and do some service for Srimati Radharani tomorrow. Cooking service is what Radharani does. So if any one of you want to assist in the kitchen, go and volunteer for tomorrow. There will be tomorrow morning there will be a class, Bhagavatam class. Of course, Mangalarati will be there, for which all of we are going. And then after that there will be a Shringara Arati and Srimad Bhagavatam class. After that there will be a good Abhishek in the temple. So please come for the Abhishek. After that will be Prashadam. Okay, I think half day fasting, Anakal. Tomorrow is half day fasting for Radhasthami. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.